Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host, Sandeep Pednekar, and you're listening to One Universe. One Universe is the radio show that's based on a non-profit One Universe that promotes positivity through the promotion of love, peace, and harmony. We talk about arts, we talk about culture, we talk about business, but all of that in perspective of positivity. And today with me, I have two special guests who promote positivity. And just like we do, they not only talk but they walk the walk and promote positivity in their lives and in the lives of so many people. So please welcome Ram and Medha. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
So you are listening to Ram and Medha Deshpande. I'm here talking to them in India. They are in Pune, India, and I am proud. I feel so proud to be their friend. They are from my very own College of Engineering, Pune, which is the best engineering college ever. I'm partial because I graduated from that college. But talking and going towards their positivity, I would like to introduce them and let you guys know who they are, what they do, and why I have them on my show. Of the hundreds and thousands of friends that I have in India, why I have chosen to introduce them to you. So here we are. So Mrs. Medha Deshpande, please tell us about yourself.
So I'm an engineer and I'm your classmate, and I have done my post-graduation as well in electrical power engineering. I have experience of 2 years from a power company, Tata Power. And after that, I worked for an engineering college for 7 years as a lecturer. Afterwards, I joined a software company, working there since 1999. Along with doing that, I am also associated with a corporate social responsibility of my company. And from there, I used to do some sort of work towards society, working with some NGOs for school, underprivileged children and women. And should I introduce about this activity or should we give it to Ram?
No, I want Mr. Ram to speak about it, my buddy. Ram, tell me about yourself first.
I'm friend of Sandeep, and yes, husband of Medha. Just got introduced to you. I was in the same college and did mechanical, and then also did my MBA from Wellington Institute. Since beginning, I have been working for engineering companies in design, process design, product design, R&D, and application engineering. Currently working for a multinational, a German multinational, and in the field of auto components. It's great to talk to Sandeep. Sandeep, I hope this is fine. Anything you would like me to say about me?
I really want to thank you agreeing to be with me on this show. One of the things that I admire about the two of you is that Ram, you have stuck to your engineering background, to mechanical, and Medha, you are in software. So ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we are talking to the brightest, one of the brightest couple that you can ever have. But I'm talking about them being bright is one thing, but what they have done and what they have accomplished is something different. Apart from what they do to earn their livelihood, they go beyond. Just like we talk about doing things for the community, and this is a living example of what should be done, what ought to be done, and they are actually living, drinking and eating that thing. They're walking the walk, as I said. But if you'd like to share your views and know more about them, you can give us a call at 901-849-DEEP. That's 849-3337. Or you can also write to us at sgp97@hotmail.com. So Ram, you are a phenomenally good singer. I have heard you. I have recorded you. Tell us about your singing.
It has been my, I would say, hobby as well as passion. Initially, my father was after me since he noticed that I could sing and I could sing well. Then I was sent for the classical training, Indian classical training, and I'm a trained singer from late Gangadhar Pimpalkare in Pune, and also had opportunity to perform on various platforms, the Indian, then the pop music, also the ghazals and all types of music. Of course, I'm not too familiar with the Western or the rock, but I also love that. So I'm currently enjoying and doing my programs in Pune and around, and have represented my college and also been active in pushing the Indian music, especially in terms of the core Indian with the Indianness into it. Of course, by getting the Western part also inside. And I'm happy my son is also with me now in this.
That is one more thing I admire, that he has developed, not only developed love in that part of art. So he sings phenomenally, and I have heard him as well, and he is an accomplished, very accomplished classical singer, and he does a phenomenal job, just like Dad.
Yeah, I'm happy. He's already gone quite a few steps beyond me, and but I always enjoy singing with him in programs, and always try to score a few points, and always it's a good tussle between two of us.
Okay. So as you said, he has gone a few steps ahead of you. The other thing I would like to highlight, and Mommy emphasizes that he's also into Western music. Exactly. And he plays Western music, he plays the guitar, and he plays very well. So this show One Universe, is on a jazz network. So if you are not into jazz, it's high time that you got into jazz.
Sure, that's a challenge for me now.
Yeah, our sons are into it.
Correct, very true. So now, talking about your involvement in engineering, in computer science, and you being engineers, you have gone beyond that. You have gone into music, and apart from enjoying music and letting others enjoy your music, you have gotten into corporate social responsibility. But being involved in a company, being involved in corporate social responsibility, and Medha, you being in charge of CSR from your own company, you have gone many steps beyond that. So I want to start with you. Who was it that started, you or Ram?
I would say myself.
Okay, very good. Okay.
Do you agree?
Yeah, of course. I as usual, I always follow her.
Very good. And as a husband, you always follow your wife. Even if she says something, you always say yes and no. No, jokes apart, and we know.
Do you think it is a joke? We need to continue the program.
But no matter what, she's an inspiration to him, and he's an inspiration to her. And I've been wanting to interview them for our show, because of their involvement in the community, and for the people and the kids that did the work that they do for them. And I have been wanting to highlight them. I have heard about it from many people, but I wanted to interview them and come and take a look at it in person, and I am in awe of what they do. So Medha, please let us know, what exactly was it that made you start into getting into giving back?
So actually, as we talked, we went for a farmhouse, and I am passionate about even farming.
And that is organic farming.
So we used to go on weekend, and our gardener, he has 2 kids. So when I used to have leisure time, I used to sit with them, used to ask them to get their books. And I could see, what they are studying, and I were giving them some lessons, etc. And that time I introduced Ram, saying that if I have given some sums to one child, I used to send that child to Ram, okay, please get them corrected. And he started enjoying more.
Okay, so you let them do some math work, and
maths and English.
Okay.
So we used to teach, and then we used to give exercise. And that way actually we started with 2 kids.
Okay.
And then it started with,
So now let me ask you,
Yeah.
what year was that?
it was 3 years back. So
3.5. So in terms of year, I think it was November 2013.
I see, okay.
During
Alright.
Diwali. During Diwali.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So exactly Diwali is when we started.
Okay, very nice.
Yeah.
So that was the first step. What happened next?
So on first couple of weekends, only 2 kids. Then the neighboring parents, they started looking at it and they felt if they could send their children. So they asked us whether our children can accompany. We said yes. And every weekend we started getting 2 more.
Okay,
And by end of 6 months, we were having around maybe 20-25.
I see. Okay.
And then during the vacation time, April, May of 2013, we got more because it's a vacation period.
Okay, 2014.
2014. Sorry, 2014, and it you can say it is a little type of need of that society, and the mouth publicity. Parents got to know, and that's how we got the number of kids added.
Okay, and how much can you repeat in the summer vacation? How many kids?
About 20, because we started in November.
Summer,
So
I think we had 40. By that time, we
Yeah.
had reached the 40.
Yeah.
Number 40.
So actually we started record keeping after
Yeah,
a year.
exactly.
Initially we were not sure
Okay.
whether we can sustain this.
Okay.
So for almost about a year we did not speak about this
Yes, exactly.
with anyone. We were just running it
Okay.
because we wanted to ensure that we can sustain, and then only we will make a word of it, so that we can start getting some support in terms of maybe additional teacher.
Okay.
Because by the time we had 40-50 students and 2 teachers, and the students from the grade 3rd till 10th.
Okay.
So our
So,
sons,
okay, so third grade to the 10th grade is what your range is.
Yeah.
So now, ladies and gentlemen, if you have kids or if you are a kid yourself and listening to this program, you know how important it is to get guidance, how important it is to be helped in your homework when you're a kid. And parents know how much they have to be involved, and for parents who cannot be involved, they know how important it is to be tutored, for their kid to be tutored. So when we talk about tutoring, which means you are sending your kid to a teacher and in return you pay the tutor. But in this case, we have phenomenal teachers and tutors and guide, not only in math and English, but in life as well. And we'll talk about that in some more detail. But the point I'm trying to make is that since 2013, this couple, this phenomenal couple, has not only tutored these kids, but they do not take a dime, not a penny, and they just do it out of the goodness of their heart. We talk about social responsibility and all of that, whether it is corporate or individual social responsibility. They have gone far beyond, and they have not only not stopped or paused, but they have gone and on, and they have taken a whole lot more. Their farmhouse right now is converted into a weekend school, and weekend because of course they have their own jobs. And when I forgot to highlight that they are in a phenomenally good positions. Ram did mention that he's in a German company, and Medha of course is in software, but they head these companies. They are leaders in their work, their business, but they take time out of their life, out of their work, and they have 2 grown-up kids whom actually they need time to be with family. But they go beyond that and go about 25 miles, 24 kilometers away. So that's about 11 and a half miles. And when we are talking about 11 and a half miles in this part of the world, it takes about 45 minutes to reach there with all the traffic and the road conditions here in India. So they go beyond all of these against all odds and make it possible for the kids to learn something without getting paid back. So what are your thoughts? How have you influenced other kids, or have you, or would you like to? Please let us know at 901 849 deep. That's 849 3337, or write to us at sgp97@hotmail.com. So Medha, please tell us, once you were in the first summer vacation, what happened? What were the things that you had to do extra when it got from 20 to 40 kids?
So initially we were going by the grades, like first grade, second grade. Later on we realized that they were not actually in their grade. Rather, their understanding was a grade below than what they...
A grade or two.
Okay.
Grade or
So
two.
we actually are talking about kids in rural India.
Yes. Yes.
Although it's only 10-15 miles away from mainstream city like Pune, this is rural India, and we are talking about kids in a hilly area where the parents are mostly laborers and illiterate, and so the literacy level in India is very low amongst rural Indians. And you have gone in this area, you go there every single weekend, and you do your bit of giving back. So Ram, you are saying that you categorize them. So how did you categorize? Medha, you are talking about that they were in one grade but in a different level.
Yeah, so actually Ram has a good contribution in this. So he did competency mapping. I would say Ram can explain it better. So he did a professional project management using Excel and all.
Wow, very nice, impressive.
I think the trigger was the report from one of the NGOs, ASAR, Pratham and ASAR. So they carry out this kids survey and just find out the competency of the kids with respect to their maths and basic English. So it was very clear that a fifth grade student, how much he can know in third grade or third grade syllabus, and the numbers were pathetic. So I mean, having a look at those surveys, it was very difficult for me to sleep for a couple of days, and then I realized that this is a huge gap, and the world what we are living in and what the kids, these poor kids, are exposed to, because the kids' parents are not literate, and that's the parent education is something which is most important in this category. So what we say, sahvas or the time we spend with our kids. So I think that is completely missing. Even though it is there, definitely they are loved by their parents, but in terms of sharing knowledge, sharing experiences, sharing.
So they themselves cannot do it at the home level.
And that was really heartening, and this was one of the key factors that was noticed by ASAR report, as I mentioned that. And then we realized that we are on the right path in terms of spending time with them, because that's something which is most important. And then while teaching, we realized that it's important to group them, because we have limited resources. We have 2 teachers, or at the most, sometimes my son would accompany us, or my niece used to accompany. But it was we 2 who were the permanent teachers. So it was important to group them in 3 or 4 groups at the most. And we did that by doing the competency mapping, and also had a good interaction with the schools, and could know from the teacher that what are the gaps. So that it was important we could spend 5 to 6 hours in a weekend, and then how much we can focus on, because the focus is important. We wanted something where there are real gaps and where we can really add value, and then which can help kids grow. So that was a focus that was most important.
Listening to you, initially, when this morning I've been there, I saw it with my own eyes, experienced it myself firsthand, and I was impressed with all the things that you are doing and have been doing for the past 4 years. But now I'm getting a different perspective, that you have used your management skills, analyzed the situation, and used that corporate learning into this social responsibility. That is phenomenal. That's really good. Very nice. The other thing is that of course there is no doubt that not only are you blessed, but I feel that you are blessed because you are doing this and it's a blessing from God that you are in a position to give. But there are hundreds and thousands of people who are in a position, but you have come out of your comfort zone and gone those extra steps, and it is not easy giving your weekends to others. Every weekend after weekend after weekend you have done that. But I also see one more beautiful thing between the two of you, is that every husband and wife do not have the same likings. That is one thing. Not only do you have the same likings, but the fact is that you are promoting each other in that direction. And when I say promoting, I want to highlight that one factor that is not there is that you are not pulling other person down. That the absence of that is not just enough. The absence of that is nullified, but you are going way into the positive and making it possible for each other, and you are enhancing and strengthening each other to do what is the best for these kids. So please talk about that, and please highlight each other's strength.
I think I must do that first, because here I'm extremely proud of Medha about a couple of cases I would explain, which I think without her it would have been impossible to handle. There are two boys. The first one is Kunal, and I can tell you, we have seen in the movies. This boy was, I would say, I will use a very strong word, a vagabond, and someone who's totally out, only 12 years of age, but really he would only listen, not even listen to himself. You could imagine how at what level this boy was. I mean, innocent boy, but unfortunately, because of the surroundings around, not with the good companies, and his behavior and overall was really difficult, and had a lot of abusive words. And I remember one of the incidences when he was abusing, and there was a fight among the children, because these are coming from a different society, and they are exposed to different world, and perhaps unfortunately they are not fortunate enough to interact with the literate world or the cultured world. So I have seen Medha, Jaduji Chappi. She did exactly with the boy, did a lot of
the hug of love.
The hug of love. I can never forget that. And Sandeep, the boy has transformed. I mean, I today I should have shown you the boy, one of the best behaving boys, and he has improved substantially in his studies. And because of his behavior, 4 or 5 others who were on the verge of getting on the other side of the behavior got saved. And I think I'm so proud, and I don't think I would have been able to do this kind of thing. And this Jaduji Chappi was something phenomenal. And I was always comparing that with the movie. And I think in movie you are always doubting whether it works or not. But I saw it work for us. It worked for Medha, and this is something which I would never forget.
How beautiful. Okay, Medha, talk about the strengths that he brings into this equation.
Ram?
Yes.
Absolutely. I mean, even though I started, I see now this has become as his first project, and I am supporting him.
Wow, okay.
And he is like, I work for the children on weekends when I'm there, but I do see him studying at home because he focuses on 8th, 9th, 10th grade. So he has to study prior to teaching them, because there is some complex maths, and I am taking care of younger ones and he is taking care of seniors, and he spends time doing homework, preparing himself. He does lot of internet study, he gets question paper, he prepares tips, and he is spending even more hours during the week for this weekend.
Oh my goodness.
So he is one step beyond.
So so this dedication for the weekend actually extends into the week as well.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, he spends maybe equal amount of hours during the week.
During the week.
Fortunately or unfortunately, my travel time is 3 hours, and I sit back and
He effectively utilizes that time.
Oh wow. Okay, wow. To going from a daily.
yeah.
Okay.
So I used. I mean, not every day I use it, but I try to use it effectively. And also because of the internet revolution now, all the books are available on internet, and I know the books of stuff from standard 3rd to standard 10th.
Okay.
All of them, and I can always
And he has
focus
done a lot
and
of
see.
research, and he got a very good e-learning sites. So that is a homework we can say. And now those e-learning sites help us as maybe couple of teachers.
Okay.
So we have 4 class, 2 with actual teachers, 2 with a computer and screen.
Okay. So now, because you are putting your time, you're putting your efforts, you're putting your money into all of this. There's a whole lot of hard work in the weekend hours that you spend with the kids and also away from the kids, preparing yourself for the weekend so that you can impart phenomenal knowledge. So we talked about 2 subjects. One is math and another is English. But other than that, you also impart to them many qualities. You teach them how to talk, how to debate, how to public speak and all of that. Now you are putting all of your time and efforts, and I want to appeal to the public that if they would like to be a part of this, they can come to your place and look at it.
Sure.
And if they cannot come here, they can donate also. So can you give us a number and a website where they can reach out to? So can you tell your number? They can call.
Phone number.
Yeah, my number is 98810 98768. But I would prefer this perhaps could be contacted to you, Sandeep, because it could be more channelized, perhaps due to the time difference.
Sure, we can do that. You can donate through One Universe. And ladies and gentlemen, this is one time I am so happy to repeat the number for donating to this cause, for a beautiful, wonderful cause. You can give us a call at 901-849-3337. And of course, the area code is, the country code is 001. If you're calling from any other place, the country code is 001. The area code is 901 and the number is 849 deep. So if you are listening in India, please see to it that, and if you are a friend of Ram's and Medha's, please call them and donate. And if you are my listener, you can donate to them through One Universe. You can write to us at sgp97@hotmail.com. So as we come towards the end of the show, what are the few things that you would like to convey to our listeners?
So what we feel is we are now focusing on maybe 50-60 kids, but there are lot kids who are still underprivileged. So as Ram keeps saying, this model needs to repeat, kind of multiply. So those maybe not every weekend, but if if people have a farmhouse or maybe on a weekend, or maybe they might have their mates' kids.
Yes. And so it does not necessarily have to be rural,
yeah.
place. It can be within a city,
Exactly.
in an urban area, and they can reach out to, and maids are very prevalent in India.
Exactly.
So their kids are not necessarily educated. The maids themselves are not educated.
Yes.
So people can offer that. But I would like to say that I would like to appeal to people, of course, to do that. But because you have gone through this, and because you have used management techniques and business and professional things, I would want you guys to replicate this and have a franchise of this for the benefit of the people, because whoever starts will not have the knowledge that you guys have. So I appeal to you guys to replicate it.
Sure.
So Medha, you already mentioned. Ram, a few words from you as we end.
I think she has put it nicely. I will also add that during one of the education day, that is 5th September 5, our Prime Minister had appealed, and he had also mentioned about the gaps in terms of this education. and we talked of hardware initially, the toilets, ladies' toilets, and all that. But now it's the quality of the education that is a core focus what India needs to put in. So I would be too happy to really support this because the model is, I think, can be replicated. There are only two things in this. First is we need a passionate a team who really wants to do something and have patience, and then do not expect anything out of this, and then have some space to really run this. So I think if these two things are there, beginning is definitely possible, and the tougher task starts that sustenance. And I'm sure it the passion inner drive that keeps the sustenance running or keeps it running. So anybody who wants to really get into this, me or Medha would be more than happy to really support and extend all what we have learned and pass on this information to the new person who wants to do this.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a standing invitation from both husband and wife, Ram and Medha Deshpande. I thank you both. You are one phenomenal couple. My heart goes out to the work that you do. Hats off to you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for being on my show.
Thanks, Sandeep.
Thank you, and everyone is welcome on our location.